Hey everybody, this video is to help give the kids some what I hope to be a few helpful hints to get things done in Seesaw. I'm here in Seesaw. This is a task that the kids were all but 3 directed to do last week on Tuesday. It's called the multiplication retest, our original multiplication test. Oof, it did not go well, so we redid some stuff. This is our second chance. Now, when you're going to do something in Seesaw, you can't just click on the assignment. You need to click on the Add Response button. Your student, I don't think will have to do this step since I'm the teacher. I'm going to say I am the sample student. Now we're at the spots where I want to help kids with, because this is where a lot of people are struggling. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, there's a series of tools that you can use. This first one that's highlighted here, this marker, this is not a good tool to use for math class because it just writes way too big. So if I'm trying to answer this question and I'm going to try to put a 6 here and a 4 here and a 2 here and a 2 here, and it really gets out of hand. So that's not the tool we want to use, at least for math class. We want to use this pencil tool on the left here. This pencil tool lets you write in a lot smaller size, and if you click on it again, you can choose. I like to use the second to the smallest size. And then here's the most important thing when you're doing math. These boxes and triangles, these are way too small. This zoom in button up here, this button is your friend, team. Click on that. And no, nothing happened right away. It gives you the zoom in menu box. We want to make this bigger. And now look, this little white box inside the page lets us move around and see the things we've zoomed in. I'm going to press it again, and then I'm going to move the box over so that I'm just looking at this first problem. Wow, this now gives me a lot more space to work. So I can now be writing out my numbers. I'm also just using a laptop mouse pad. It is kind of hard, I agree, but we're all having to learn some new stuff this year, so it just takes practice. This way I can say 2 times 2 is 4. There's no 10s there, so that's a 0 and that's a 4. 2 times 6 is 12. Right, and then when I go to add these, well, I'll do one more. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8. Now, this is now big enough. I can see what I'm doing. This diagonal, it's just a 6. 6 plus nothing. This diagonal, 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. I can now see what I'm doing. I also have enough space to write my answer. The nice thing here is when I zoom back out, my work will stay the same, well, in the same place. So if we look at this, I zoom back out, I take off that, my work's still there. It shows up just fine, and it was a lot easier to write than if everything was really small. And especially for these more standard algorithm problems, it's very hard to get your work to fit into these boxes if you don't zoom in first. So hopefully both the zoom in features, remember zoom in, move the box around so that you can see what it is you want to work on. Between that and using the pencil instead of the marker, I think that'll help a lot. And it's also just going to take some practice for you to get used to it. All right, hopefully that helps.